Welcome to the Unscripted Journey podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia Schoen. Around here, we believe in living life on purpose, not by permission. Each week, we'll talk real growth, fresh starts, and bold steps to create a life that's true to you. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's take this journey together. Welcome back, my friends, to the Unscripted Journey. Have you ever noticed that no matter how hard you work or how much you grow, how much you accomplish, how much you put into things, your efforts, that there's always someone ahead of you? I know that can be frustrating, but it's true. There's always somebody smarter, someone that's further along, someone more talented or more disciplined. There's just always somebody better. And I was recently talking with my daughter. We were on a drive and she said something that stopped me in my tracks. And she said, "There is always somebody better than you, Mom, but we have to be comfortable with where we're at. You have to be comfortable with where you're at." And really, she was talking about herself. She's talking about her life and things that are happening. But I thought, wow, what a statement that is. Because it's true. And that can either discourage you or really completely set you free. And I want to talk to you today about how to be comfortable without being complacent. Oof, I do not like that word, complacent. I want you to stop competing with everyone and still keep striving to be your best. And, let's just be honest. Comparison is everywhere. I've talked about it on other episodes on social media. It makes it worse. Careers make it worse. You're comparing yourself to your coworkers, whether they're further along, doing something that you want to do, or you're comparing your business or your ministry or your parenting skills. Oh, look at how they're doing that on social media. They make it look so easy to parent a child. But look at me, I'm struggling. Or somebody's health journey. They're working out better. They're putting more reps than you. All of it. It's all comparison. And if your goal is to be the best in the room, I'm going to tell you right now, my friend, you will eventually have to walk into a bigger room because there will always be someone doing it better than you. That's just the darn truth. You can't escape that. And if your identity is tied to outperforming others, you will live in constant anxiety because it is tiring to try and outperform other people. And you don't have to be better than everyone or anyone to be valuable. You don't. There's no value in that. Now, when my daughter was said, be comfortable where you're at, I don't think she was saying, to settle. I don't think that's it. I know her journey. I know her story, and that's not what she's saying. Because comfortable doesn't mean that you're stuck in it. It doesn't mean you're lazy. And it doesn't mean you're satisfied with mediocrity. Don't confuse it. It means you're secure. When you're comfortable, it means you're secure. You're not ashamed of your season and you're not apologizing for the pace that you're going at. And you're not despising the process that you're going through. There were seasons in my very own life where I wasn't ahead. I was healing. I've talked about this. And this is why the Unscripted Journey podcast exists. And that's why I began the Unscripted Journey for myself. I wasn't building anything. I wasn't building anything big. I was rebuilding myself. And that is the biggest project that you could ever work on. I wasn't at the time trying to build a business. I was rebuilding who I was, my identity, what I wanted, my dreams, my hopes. And I was breaking out of the boxes that other people had put me in. And honestly, if I had judged those seasons by someone else's highlight reel, by what someone else thought and felt and saw, I would have missed what was being developed in me. And what was being developed in me was much more greater than anything else. And comfort is confidence. It's in who you are becoming, in who you are evolving to. It's so, oh gosh, guys, comfort is confidence. Comfort is confidence. And this is really important for you to understand because when you're comfortable, it says, I know who I am and I'm grounded and I'm at peace with myself. But when you're complacent, it says, I don't feel like growing. And I want you to know the difference between being comfortable and being complacent because comfortable says, I don't need to prove myself to other people. But when you're complacent, you're saying, I don't need to try. And you see the difference there? There's a huge difference. One is secure, and the other one is stagnant. And you don't want to be stagnant, because if you're stagnant, that means you're not growing. That means you're not pushing yourself. And we're not choosing stagnation. This unscripted journey is not being about being stuck and being stagnant and not moving and not pushing yourself. We're choosing intentionally to be secure while we grow. That's what we're choosing. It's intentional living at its best. And here's the shift. I need you to stop competing with other people. There's really only one person that you need to compete against. And that's yesterday's version of you, last year's version of you, the you version from 3 weeks ago. That's who you need to compete against. And I know that some days you're not going to give 100%. Guys, I'm realistic. I know that's real life. I don't always give 100%. Some days we give 40, 50, 60%. And that's all you've got. That's all I've got. But I want to ask you if you're giving an intentional 40, 50, 60%. Or are you merely coasting by? Are you just kind of doing blah, you know? There's a difference when you're giving, even at 60%, you're still giving everything you have. Do you see where I'm going with that? When you're growing, it doesn't require you to take massive leaps every single day. I've talked about taking small steps. When you take small steps, you feel like you're accomplishing something. It just creates this snowball effect, and one thing leads to another. But it's really important that you're not coasting through and that you're being intentional with what you're pushing yourself through. I want you to make one better decision, one extra effort, one uncomfortable but necessary action. I've talked in other podcasts about Ed Milet's book called The Power of One More. And really that book is it's just telling you that you should have the power to do one more thing, to push yourself a little bit further every single day. Do one more rep at the gym, eat more vegetables this time on your plate, push yourself to post more content, or push yourself to read another paragraph of that book. Push yourself to pray an extra 5 minutes. That's what it's all about. The power of one more try, the power of pushing through. I encourage you to get that book. It is amazing. It'll open up your eyes on how much we really have inside of us when we push ourselves. Just give a little bit more each time. That really is sustainable growth. When you're pushing a little bit, just don't stay where you are, my friend. I don't want you to stay where you are, because I want you to continue to grow. Now, I always like to ask my listeners direct questions, because I want you to reflect on your life, and I want you to really kind of inventory where you're at. So I'm going to ask you, where are you competing with someone who doesn't even know you're competing with them? Who's taking up free rent? Like they're taking up free rent in your mind because you're competing with somebody that they don't even know you're competing with them. Honestly, probably they don't even know who the heck you are. And you're paying attention to that. You're more focused on competing with somebody else. Compete with yourself. All right? Compete with who you were. Make yourself better. Stop competing with someone who doesn't even know you're competing with them. And I want to know, are you uncomfortable because you're growing, or are you uncomfortable because you're comparing? Because when we begin to compare ourselves to others, we begin to get uncomfortable with who we are, with what we're doing. We don't think it's good enough. And I want to know what would happen if you focused on becoming 1% better this weekend, this day, instead of trying to leap 20 steps ahead. Are you at peace with your current season? Again, there's always somebody better than you. That's not a threat, it's reality. And once you accept that, you stop performing for validation and you start growing from intention. And you don't have to be the best in the world. You just have to be the best in your world. You have to refuse to shrink. Be comfortable in your own skin. You were created unique. You were created on purpose. God created you with purpose, and He created your fingerprint for you. Be comfortable with who you are. Keep striving to become stronger and wiser and braver. not to be everyone else, but to really honor who you were created to be, your God-given talent. All right, my friends, that's all I've got for now. I hope you come back and listen to my next episodes. Lots of great things coming along. If you enjoyed this episode, would you please share it with someone that you know, that you love, and say, listen to this, and leave me any comments, because I would love to know what journey you're on. All right, until next time, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for listening to the Unscripted Journey podcast. If today's episode lit a spark in you, keep that momentum going with the Unscripted Journey Reflection Journal. It's a guided space to help you tune in, take action, and start living life on your terms. It's available now on Amazon. Just click the link in the episode notes. And don't forget, I've got free resources waiting for you over at cynthiashone.com to support your growth between episodes. Until next time, live free and stay unscripted.